Hey guys, Jason here with WheelieWorship.com and wanted to tell you about GopherWood guitars. These guitars are probably a guitar that you've never heard of before, but they are beautiful, beautiful guitars. Now, I'm going to tell you something about these guitars. It's probably going to make you say, okay, I'm checking out right here, right now, and it's okay, because it's the same thing it did with me. GopherWood Guitars are a guitar company that are out of South Korea. I know, I've just lost half of you. Can I tell you something? These guitars are probably some of the best guitars that I've ever played. And believe me, I've played some of the best guitars that are out there. For years, if you know me and if you follow me and my path with worship leading in my career, you know that I play Taylor guitars, and most recently I played Gibson guitars. I've just recently signed a 2-year exclusive endorsement deal with GopherWood Guitars. After being a little skeptical like you guys are. A good friend, a guy that I've gotten to know and love, Brandon Bagby, played for Audio Adrenaline and now plays for Mandisa, was talking about this new guitar, and the thing that kind of captured my attention was this deal that I'm going to talk about in a minute called Sound Pillar Technology. It's something that's inside of this guitar that makes it pretty stinking special. And he's talking about it, kind of captured my attention. I'm thinking, what is that inside of the guitar? That caught my attention, and by the time that I heard it was a South Korean guitar, I almost said, I'm not interested anymore. But the sound pillar was enough to pique my interest to say, what is this guitar to begin with? So I entertained it, I looked at it, started looking into it. But it was this statement that kind of caught my attention even further. Now, Brandon was out on the road and he was playing, and apparently one of the sound engineers, one of the front of house engineers, asked him, hey, what is that guitar you're playing? Now, this is the G800RE. Brandon was playing a slightly different guitar, one that has a cutaway, just like mine, but it had a cutaway. And he said, what is that guitar you're playing? He said, well, it's a GopherWood guitar. He said, man, I love it. I'm flat EQing your guitar. I'm not having to do anything with it. Now, if you know anything about running front of house for acoustic guitars, you know that most of the time you're having to beg your acoustic guitarist to please, can you just flat EQ your guitar and let me deal with things and scooping some stuff here and there to where I can get some stuff kind of doctored up in your sound. To have a guitar that's flat EQ'd at the stage and then you're flat EQing it from the board, it's just not heard of. That piqued my interest. Sure enough, whenever I felt one of these guitars for the first time, I fell in love. Had an artist representative that flew all the way out to Indianapolis, put 1 or 2 of these in my hands to where I can feel the different sizes, play on them, be able to see how they played, how they felt. And the first time that I played them, I had something kind of really phenomenal that happened. Now here's the deal. On my guitars, my upper end guitars that I've got, I use different pedals on them. And because most of the time whenever you play guitars, you know, if you play acoustic guitars, I'm playing acoustically, purely acoustic, nothing, right now nothing's coming out of this, that's not plugged in anywhere. You lose a lot of that true acoustic sound quality once you plug in. So I use a pedal called a body rest pedal, which basically puts back some sound into the sound system. So he said, I want you to hear your guitars through the system, and I want you to hear this one through your same system. So I did, and I'm playing on mine, and he said, here, let me plug this one in. So we're playing through my pedals, and a funny thing happened. As soon as we turned on my body rest pedal on this, I almost immediately wanted to turn it off. This guitar almost carried through some of the same resonance as it's played acoustically through the system without the use of any other pedals. It was just a mind-blowing experience. Now, here's some of the interesting qualities of this guitar. We're going to carry some of the specs down below in the article so you can hear all the good stuff about what kind of wood it's made out of and all that stuff. But inside the guitar itself, and you can't really see here, but we'll get you some close-ups of it, show you some pictures. There's a sound pillar technology. Violins and things like that carry this same type of aperture, where basically the resonance from the instrument itself, the resonance comes from front to back. Now, an acoustic guitar, you have the sound that kind of, from the strings vibrating, all the sound swells around inside of here and then comes out. Well, this takes the wood from the front and the back and connects it together to where you can have the sound be much fuller, much richer, and you get much more sustain out of it as a result. Now, the sound pillar technology is interesting because you can change the tips on the sound pillar to where you can have different sounds of a guitar. If I wanted to take a different sound, say out of a Gibson or a Martin, I had to get a different Gibson or a different Martin that had different wood on a finish on the back or on the sides just to be able to accomplish that. With this, I can change the tips and have a completely different guitar with a completely different sound within mere minutes. It's completely different guitars all wrapped up in one, but the sound is phenomenal on this. As far as having guitar companies that really value and believe in worship leaders, worship songwriters, and people that are in CCM and things of that nature, I've never seen a guitar company either that puts truth behind their guitars. On every single one of their guitars, not just the one that's been made for me, you'll see a cross that's on the headstock. And on the back too as well, they have a little placard that says GopherWood Guitars, and on it it says, "You are worthy of all the glory." That's something that's strong from a South Korean company that totally believes in God and believes in putting that first in their guitars. Well, what do you expect from a guitar company that calls themselves GopherWood? So go out today and check them out. The link's going to be right down below this video, and all the other specs about the guitar too as well as a few comments from some other people that you may know that are currently using GopherWood guitars. So check them out today. We're sure that you'll enjoy them.